What's up, everybody? I am Kay Marie.
I am Lou.
I'm Mary.
And we are
Murked in the Midwest.
So, did everybody look at their turkey and ham at Thanksgiving like,
I inspected mine, made sure it was actually from a pig. And
now how could you tell it was from a pig?
It's ham. I got a ham for Thanksgiving. I didn't do turkey.
But I feel like you could cure anything and kind of make it look
like
Are you sure it was
I
a ham?
am positive. So when
I picked up my own and
I went to the store.
They better not be selling no
people
specifically
look like y'all niggas ain't selling feet right.
I went and bought a pig.
And you
raised it myself. Slaughtered it.
She more country than a sugar sandwich, baby.
She telling us that she said, F Indiana, Tennessee, here I come. Fuck the Midwest. That's what I heard.
I'm sorry.
Also, fuck the Midwest.
Fuck the Midwest.
Just kinda.
Just
a little bit.
I'm a little bit. She still like it.
All right. So today we are talking about Sandra Horwath. So there was a story of a woman who went missing 50 years ago, and the anniversary of her going missing recently just came up, and her daughter Robin, she started to share vivid memories of her mother. She was 33 years old at the time. She states that she was just so put together and so refined. She was patient and loving, and she made us feel so loved and protected and safe. She says she never yelled. That she was just patient with her 3 little girls, and they were all basically within 2 years of each other. She stated that she just loved being a mom. However, when Robin was just 8 years old, Sandra went missing from their home on the 3000 block of Rayborn Circle in Ann Arbor, Michigan. So, as I stated, Sandra, or they call her Sandy, was 33 years old and a divorced mother to Robin and her sisters Tammy and Becky. Robin said the family moved from Allentown, Pennsylvania, to Ann Arbor, Michigan, and their father, he stayed where he was to pursue a PhD in English. They divorced in 1971, and he moved to Detroit. He was actually living in Rochester. For 2 years after that, they said they lived in Ann Arbor with their mother, and they would spend the weekends with their father. Robin states she remembered winters, how they would go sledding at the complex where they first lived, or the sunny days with her mom treating her hair, and always had music playing in the car wherever they went. It says that the night before she actually went missing, Sandy took Robin and her sisters to Briarwood Mall. After arriving home, Sandy put the kids to bed. Robin says she remembered asking if she could sleep with her, but Sandy told her no, that she needed to sleep in her own room that night. Robin was the first to wake up the next day, October 1st, 1973, and found that her mother was gone.
Now that has to be something, because she was how old at the time?
8.
So 8 years old, you know that when you went to bed, your mom was in your house, and you wake up and your mom is gone. And not like she went to work. Mommy is gone.
And she knew something was wrong, so she immediately started making phone calls. She called the hospital where her mom did clerical work and found out that she hadn't came in that day. She then called their babysitter, who came over to the house immediately, and the babysitter is the one that actually contacted the police and got the girls ready for school. Their father ended up coming in to stay with them, and it was shortly after that he actually moved them with him to Rochester. So it stated that Sandra was last seen wearing a house dress or blue tank top and pullover shirt, blue stretch pants, a white blazer, wooden base sandals with a beige strap, and carrying a purse. So just a little bit more details. It says that Sandra and the kids returned home at 8:30 p.m. on October 1st. She took a phone call from a male friend at about 9:30 p.m. She put the kids to bed at 10 p.m. and it was 6 a.m. when Sandra's children woke up to find her missing.
Did the daughter know who called, or did anyone know?
Does
who
not
called?
say. Nope.
Okay.
And so it's literally been 8 hours.
Okay.
So we don't know what time she went missing. There was news that there was a report that the neighbor said they heard a noise in the middle of the night and then it stopped. They heard a noise come from the backyard and then it stopped and they didn't hear anything else. They said they never went to go check on it. When they woke up, the flower beds outside the house were trampled on. Um, Her watch and vehicle were still at the residence, but her purse was never located. So it was then shortly after that, they're now working this case as a missing person, cold case. Uh, the authorities are stating they didn't see anything out of place in the home when they arrived on the scene. Like I said, the neighbor said they heard that noise around like 10:50 p.m. But that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing. There was no fingerprints. There was no sign of a struggle inside the house.
That's really odd too. So it's almost like she left her home willingly.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe she at least, maybe someone met her like at her driveway.
Yeah, it could have
Or,
been
like,
somebody
she-
called her like, "Hey, I'm outside. Come outside and talk to me," and she just stepped outside.
Mm-hmm.
But
why would she have her purse?
Right. And the one
That's the weird
thing
part.
that kind of like stuck out too was like I was reading like the missing poster.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was saying like the only thing that they found really suspicious like was the trampled flower bed.
Mhm.
So it sounded like almost to me like you kind of set yourself up to go missing. Like this is you kind of like plotting yourself to like just go missing. Like I'm going off the grid.
Yeah.
So like let me make something look out of place without looking out of place.
I can see that.
I didn't think of that.
So,
yeah.
but the flower bed, and you know how like us women are about our flower beds and the
Yes.
presentation of the outside of our house.
Mhm.
So the only thing that you could possibly think of, if that's the case, is like let me go trample my flowers,
make
but
that look
nothing
weird.
else was out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, why would if there was no struggle inside the house, but she's missing, her purse is missing, the flowers are trampled.
Yeah.
But then the part of that doesn't make sense is why do this while your 3 young kids are at home? Especially if you pride yourself on being a mother. Like if that was the case, she could have planned this or plotted this while they were at school.
True.
Why?
I don't know what the thought would have been behind that.
Yeah, because
that seems like the worst time. They wake up and you're not there.
Yeah, especially because they had a regular babysitter. So she wasn't the type of mother that would leave her kids at home by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that the daughter who's 8 knows, okay, I need to call the babysitter. Because mom's not here, somebody needs to be here, something's going on. She knew waking up at 6 a.m. like my mama's supposed to be here.
Yeah, I'm looking at their cute little pictures, and they look like little happy family Christmas photos.
Yeah, and so it's just like I could see, and that probably was at some point they were thinking like, oh, she's not a missing person, maybe she just left. But then the more you look at it, it just doesn't make sense.
It really don't make sense. Why like that?
Yeah.
So we have our small business shout outs.
Love, appreciation.
I know, right? And
Shout
this
out to
is
you.
for somebody who is near and dear to my heart. My friend Joy. It's her company called Whip Things.
Ooh.
And let me tell y'all something. Like I am a product buyer of hers. Like I literally I do my little ghetto promotions. I be like, y'all feel my leg. Rub it. You won't be ashy this winter. In the wintertime you get ashy as hell.
I'ma just tell you, chocolate should not look like a powdered donut.
Exactly.
Everyone who knows me knows I say that.
You gonna smell good. Ooh. She got her butters. She got butters and scrubs. So her scents are the butters are pound cake, pink lemonade, aloe tea tree, lemon lavender, citrus, lavender, unscented, pink, and then she has beard oil. And for her scrubs, it's beard oil. Yeah, she got beard oil, girl. And then on here, pound cake, pink lemonade, aloe tea tree, lemon lavender, citrus. Same things as the butters and scrubs to match. But literally, I have always had the pink lemonade, and then I got the pound cake. Like when I tell you, you smell sexy, you be like, and it just lasts. Like it lasts.
I'm
Like
gonna
when
have to get
you
that.
put it on, and literally it's on all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna need
Like
some
you
of
don't have to keep reapplying it. Like your ass is good to go, and they come in a decent sized tub. So the price is the price.
that.
Period.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Like yes.
We buy everything online from her.
Yes. So you can hit her up on her page, at whip underscore things on Instagram, and she's also on Facebook as well. You
Cool.
just type in whip things as well.
I'm gonna have to
But
get that
yes,
pink lemonade.
y'all. Like the scrub, everything you could use the scrub, just like exfoliate, and if you girlies, get your waxes and stuff. You can exfoliate down there, all silky smooth and
She's
stuff.
talking about your vagina.
Yes, you're a vajayjay. That
Get it
can't be
together.
ashy either.
First of
No,
all, how
it's-
can your freaking vajayjay be ashy?
It be ashy. People be ashy.
There is no way.
If you do not moisturize around here at the fupa area,
But shouldn't that be like your first place?
Yeah, you would
Exactly.
think so. But like my waxer, she told me, girl, she was like, girl, people be ashy.
I'm gonna just say, big girls gonna be ashy.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, get
No,
all
you
of
know
your
we take care of ourselves.
yes,
Come on now.
period. So get all your body care needs and everything from my homegirl Joy and Whip Things. We love you, girl.
Yeah, Whip Things.
Okay, so it was then in April 19th. Sorry, it was one of those off-put things. Okay, so it was then in April 1975 that former Ann Arbor resident Gary Addison Taylor actually became a suspect.
Okay.
In her disappearance. Today, Taylor is known as an infamous serial killer. He had a long history of attacking women, and he's connected to crimes in multiple other states. So that's including Florida, Texas, and Washington. And of course, we're talking about Michigan. He was previously arrested in Royal Oak in the late 1950s for shooting at several women and girls, becoming known as the Phantom Sniper or the Royal Oak Sniper.
Wait, didn't you say though he started off differently?
Yeah, so he actually, like in his teen years, he would take a hammer and like just bludgeon women at like bus stops and stuff like that.
Yeah, because that's what we do in our teens, guys.
He's like,
fuck the cow tipping.
I'm bored. Let me go. And so, but for the Phantom Sniper and stuff, he was actually found not guilty by reason of insanity. Why can't it be that you're guilty but you also insane?
It can be. It should be.
But he's not. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity. So, his criminal history actually landed him in and out of jail and mental health facilities for many years. But under Michigan law, he could not be kept indefinitely in a mental institution.
Oh, shit.
He must be periodically certified mentally ill and dangerous to himself or the community.
Now, I know
so this was in 1975.
I know they didn't heard of a rubber stamp. Stamp that shit. Insane.
Yep. Nope. He would have to get tests done regularly.
He did get tested. Didn't y'all see that I signed that he got tested?
No, we gotta do a real test.
Yeah, because you know what? It's just so easy, like during that time, for people to throw a label on somebody being insane. Like it could be the littlest thing. You could hear of cases of people like, oh, they just had one bad day, one mental episode, and now you're deemed insanity. You can put so that's why now I'm glad that like a lot of laws have like
changed. There's more definitions.
Yes,
actually, there's more science to mental health. Yeah. Whereas before, I mean, remember, like, what was the other episode that we did where the son was kept with the mom, or the mom had the son put away?
Oh, that was Dave.
Yeah.
Crazy Dave.
And so when you look at that, and that wasn't even as far back as this, but really there was no like deciphering in mental illness.
With Herbert and how he was diagnosed as schizophrenic. But they didn't actually do any treatment.
Yeah. He didn't need that. We're not gonna do that.
His dad refused it, because of the times and what it was basically dope you up and so that you're a zombie. But so it was at Ypsilanti and Psychiatric Center where Taylor was held from 1970 to 1972. and he was actually deemed not dangerous as long as he took medication and did not drink.
Now listen to those stipulations, though. Do y'all think that lasts long? Oh, just as long as he doesn't, drink and he takes his medicine like he should be fine. He's safe. There's no alcohol anywhere here. Dry County.
What's the chances of that?
Not.
This man who been beating people
with hammers
since he was a teenager. And man was getting a sniper and just shooting at people.
Yeah, he's not gonna drink anything.
He's not. First of all, if you have to say that he's not a danger as long as something's wrong.
Hello.
Something's wrong. So he was released, of course.
Because why not? Just put him out there on the public. Let him go hit a couple more people.
But his release actually later became the center of a lawsuit against his psychiatrist.
Perfect. Yep. I hope they took him for everything he was worth. Every dollar, every penny he ever made. I hope they took his shoes too. Took his fucking shoes.
So the reason why he became a suspect was that he was actually living near Sandra's house at the time of her disappearance in October 1973.
Okay.
And shortly after her disappearance, he could not be found.
Of course he couldn't.
Detectives confirmed that Sandra did know him. Now, the nature of their relationship is unknown, but there was some type of evidence, some type of proof to say that they knew each other. They had been in contact at some point.
Did he know her enough to make a phone call to her at 11 o'clock at night? Okay. Good question. Thank you for that question. That was an excellent question.
Good answer.
Okay, so when we do podcasts, we are not like a lot of our stuff is just speculation or our opinion. So this whole case, Cammy has a few opinions on how she could have possibly went missing. But like you going out late, your baby's in bed, you got the babies tucked away in bed. Mm-hmm. Right. You didn't call a babysitter because clearly the babysitter said that she, hadn't had no correspondence or anything from you. But you leaving the house, you got your purse, you suited and booted, you got your dress, you was stepping out for a little hot date,
It kind of sounds like I didn't even put that together either when we were talking about this. But it actually kind of makes sense. You got a little sweater, you got your little skirt, you got your little,
and you got your purse.
Late, you grown, you a grown woman, right? And the kids in bed. She 8 years old. Shit,
and she was the middle.
Yeah,
she was the middle child.
Sleep.
So the oldest was like 10.
So my point is at 10, your parents was leaving, and this is even before our time.
Oh yeah, we was definitely being left at home.
Them kids was fine. She like they ass in bed, they sleep. I made sure all they asses ate.
We went to the mall today. They tired. They finna be asleep all night.
Now, mommy going to have some
fun. Exactly. But that's what I speculate. And then somehow she just ended up at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Taylor came.
Wrong motherfucker.
Mr. Taylor came around.
Right.
So Taylor, he was actually arrested in Texas in May of 1975. And they received information from his attorney that he said he murdered and buried 4 people behind his former home.
Oh, look at that.
In Onstead, which was a small town 30 miles outside of Ann Arbor. A search of the home and a massive digging operation, they found 2 female bodies from Ohio, but they never found Sandra. And so, despite his denial, because he did confess to knowing Sandy, but denied killing her during any of his interviews. Despite the denial, Robin said she did believe that he was responsible, but of course she was just wanting more information, answers as to what actually happened with her mother.
Or probably even being able to lay her mother to rest.
Yep. Because they never found the remains or anything. And so he actually refused to meet with any detectives. They did complete multiple searches and stuff like that outside of his home, but nothing helped them, find out anything about Sandra's disappearance. They did the AAPD, which is the Ann Arbor Police Department, did advise anyone with information about the case that they should reach out to their detective bureau at 734-794-6930, or or the Ann Arbor Police Department tip line at 734-794-6939 or tips at the number 2gov.org. And so it with Mr. Gary Addison Taylor, who is now 87 and he's incarcerated at Washington State Penitentiary. He didn't actually start killing women until 1972, but as we mentioned, he did start attacking them as a teenager. He moved from Howell to Florida with his family after he was born, where he committed those bus stop phantom attacks. And so it was about a dozen women that he just would bludgeon between the late 1940s and early 1950s. He was arrested but acquitted and then moved back to Michigan.
That's some rap sheet, man.
And then it was between late 1956 and early 1957 that he started to shoot at women. He shot 16 women and girls over a 3-month period.
And this was before the what year was this?
This was 1956 to 1957, so this is before Sandy.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. Because they put him in jail in the 70s from 70 to 72. I'm sorry, he shot at 16 women. I don't care if they died. Like, did they think he was doing duck practice, like duck hunting? How is this okay?
Yep, nope. But as you said, none of those women died. He was arrested in February of 1957. He confessed to the shootings, and he stated he just had an urge to shoot at women.
Oh, okay.
And it was during that time that that was when he spent more than a decade in those psychiatric hospitals.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how he ended up being released in 1972, 73, based on Michigan laws and things of that nature. And it was in 1973 that he stopped showing up for those mandated medical appointments.
Well, I wonder why. Because if he just stayed away from alcohol and he took his medications, he was going to be fine, guys.
Exactly. So it was between 1972 and 1975 that he did murder at least 4 women, burying 2 of them in his backyard, as we stated. After he was arrested in Houston, Texas for sexual assault in May of 1975, that's when he confessed to killing the 4 women.
Okay.
And it's actually stated that originally some of Ted Bundy's victims were blamed on Taylor.
So off recording, I had asked, like, is it possible? Because again, we do speculate around here because something that we do really well. But is it possible that they knew each other or that they knew of each other and intertwined in their works because they had similar proclivities?
Yes.
They enjoyed the murder of others.
Yep.
And being that they were in Washington.
Yep, because Ted Bundy, he committed murders in a few other states, but the states that they had in common were Washington and Florida.
Right. So it could very well be that they ran into each other. You know, like if you think about people who are avid hikers, there's communities that are for that.
Absolutely.
There's communities for musicians. There's communities for everything.
When you think about it, there's the community for people who are pedophiles and on that side. Like there's a community
what kind of fucking support do you need?
No, it's really actually gross. I was watching this thing, y'all. Ugh. Sidebar. I was watching this thing on TV and they were talking about these pedophiles and how they don't want to be called pedophiles anymore. That they're lovers of kids.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I was just like, huh? First of all, let's tell truth, shame the devil.
Bitch, is you serious?
No, I'm for real. This is what these fuckers think they should be called.
And they were actually trying to get added to, there was something where I saw where they were trying to get added to the LGBTQ
plus
community.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
For real.
Yeah.
They said that there isn't anything innately heinous about their proclivities, and that when people talk about them in that way, it's getting them to be judged. And I mean, it was really tripped out. I mean, if you guys want to go down a rabbit hole like I do sometimes,
shout out to the ADHDers.
That's one that if it'll get your blood boiling because it's absolutely ridiculous. It's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard.
So yeah, so just a little bit more information on the whole Ted Bundy aspect into this. So the timeline for Mr. Taylor is kind of confusing, but Washington State, um, they had a little bit more information, and so Bundy is known for he kidnapped, raped, and murdered numerous young women and girls during the 1970s. Before his execution in 1989, he confessed to 30 homicides in 7 states between 1974 and 1978. The true number of victims is unknown and possibly higher, but one of his hunting grounds, as we mentioned, was Washington. Taylor was actually questioned as a suspect in several murders that were later attributed to Bundy. Um, but this was before they had actually known that Taylor had committed murder. So
It makes
they
you
questioned
wonder why
him.
was he being questioned. Like, I would really like to see those reports or at least the files of the investigations when they were asking these questions, because I would want to know, like, what are these questions y'all were asking him? Like, did you know the victim? Or we know that you know the victim. How were you guys connected? And why were you connected and linked up that day? Like, I would like to see what these damn questions are.
Yep. And so they actually, they questioned him and let him go, not realizing that they had a serial killer, another serial killer on their hands.
Right. Well, there's smoke, there's fire. So there was something that was alarming, or at least, like, like a little red flag that they saw when they were investigating. Because they're like, they just don't question people randomly. There has to be some form of link.
So, we in a lot of these cases we talk about these people and how they were married and how the person they were married to didn't know what was going on, all that good stuff. Taylor actually did get married.
Oh God.
And he lived in Onstead, Michigan, but the marriage didn't last.
I wonder why. What happened? What
and they divorced. It doesn't state.
Did he hit her in the head with a hammer?
No, it doesn't state. They did divorce.
He shot at her in the yard. She was like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out."
He was like, "Hey, shit, I'm out." He was like, "Let's play a game," and pulled out his sniper, and she was like, "Goodbye, good,
I'm good. I don't like this game."
So they did divorce, and it was after that he moved to Houston, Texas, and that's where he was indicted on 3 counts of aggravated sexual abuse. So trigger warning. She's been warned. Trigger warning.
Just skip ahead if you can.
Bow, bow, bow.
About like 3 minutes. That's all. So one count of attempted aggravated rape and the rape of a 16-year-old pregnant girl. And he was to be indicted for the murder of a 21-year-old go-go dancer.
He did that shit.
You know he did.
So upon hearing the charges that were filed in Texas, his ex-wife actually, she came and she's like, "I got some news for y'all."
What's she? Come on, girl. What's her name?
You know what? I don't know.
I'm gonna call her Sharon.
Okay, so
Sharon
Sharon
is not her name, but Sharon is gonna be here today.
Sharon, she calls the police and tells them that Taylor had actually confessed to her about the murders of women during drunk ramblings while they lived in Michigan.
See what I mean?
That's probably why they got divorced.
What?
Yeah, you getting drunk and telling me of the murders you didn't commit it?
No, baby.
No.
Tell on yourself.
I don't know what you think we got going on around here.
We sitting here drinking wine and we just chilling watching a movie, and you go,
she thinks she having a good night with her man.
Yes, and he just go, "I remember there was a girl, she was brunette.
I raped her.
And then I beat her with a hammer, and I buried her body in the backyard."
That was a good time.
That was a Tuesday.
I had tacos.
Yeah, I did. And then there was another one.
Oh God. I know she
the whole time my eyes would be sitting here, eyes bugged out.
How about the movie to stop? The movie to stop. Anyway,
Netflix, are you still watching? Like, hell no.
Like the episode of Family Guy when Stewie was sitting next to Brian and Brian said something and Stewie turned his head up.
Yes, that's exactly what it was. Like, excuse me?
What the fuck did you just say?
What are you saying to me?
I know she has to keep that shit together so he didn't murder her ass.
Hell yeah, but it was shortly after that she filed for divorce.
I know it. She probably waited till his ass went to work. Clean swoop ain't never packed so fast in her fucking life.
You know what? It was a poll that was going around that said if your spouse, you say for instance you're newly married and your spouse committed told you about all these murders that they committed in the past, but nigga, I'm about to snitch.
Listen, y'all, don't you ever think, everybody who hears my voice on this podcast, and all who know me already know this, I'm telling it
I am not a ride or die. I am the one to say why we gotta die.
Listen,
where we going?
Right. I got questions.
I just want you to know I am not for jail. I am not made for jail.
No,
I can't handle it. I am
no.
telling you, I am not that strong. Listen to me when I tell you I am telling everything I know. I might even add some shit to it.
Yeah. To make it sound good. So that they really know I didn't have nothing to do with this.
This is not me.
I was a Christian. I was a good girl.
I am a good Christian woman.
I am not a ride or die woman. I'm a ride or die woman when it's moral. You know, moral.
And
know,
even to that,
it's the right
even to that, if
do.
it looked like I'm going to jail,
I'm
saying I'm not going to jail. No. I'm not witnessing you off somebody. No. I don't want no parts of it. If you
let me out the car,
I'll walk home.
Yep.
Like for real. I am.
So what y'all telling me is if something had happened and I called y'all like, hey,
call somebody else.
Get somebody else to do it.
Listen,
and
I called y'all like else. I called y'all in a frantic.
Well,
like
she keep trying to put information on it. I said call somebody else.
I called and I'm like,
criminal.
I'm in the buying me.
I'm like, Lou, okay, it's bad. It's real bad.
Oh, it's a phone, girl. What the fuck you want? Right?
It's real bad. They did this and that, and I just had to. I had to do it.
I'm gonna tell you, even if I answer the phone like, "Hey, Mary," and then she started talking that shit, I'm like,
Hey, look here, go. Hang up the phone right now and call me from a payphone. I don't know where you gonna find one that.
Well, y'all know after all these dang episodes, y'all know I ain't calling from my phone.
Don't call me.
Don't call from your cell phone.
Don't even call my motherfucking phone, bro. Just come up to my house.
I can't believe he had the freaking nerve to just tell her this shit like, "Ooh, we watching a movie, babe."
That whiskey will do it to you.
It get you talking.
Get you talking. Nor is that lips. Talking tequila.
Loose lips stink ships. They should have kept them lips closed.
Shut.
Tight. Alright. But anyways.
Wow. We went on a tangent. We're sorry.
It's okay. So it was the wife telling them that this conversation happened that made them question him, which then he admitted to the 4 murders. And they searched his home, and they actually...
If Sharon had never said nothing, he just would have kept on killing.
Yep.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you, Sharon.
That was a solid girl.
You did us all a favor.
Did all the
appreciate because he would have been 87 years old, still out here shooting folks.
Shooting folks, bopping them in the head with damn hammers and shit. I can't get over that. He just at bus stop like, bam.
Like, but was raping them too.
Oh God. No, that's
yeah. But basically they searched his former residence and they found a small room in the basement. Can y'all guess what it was used for?
I'm gonna tell you, the small rooms are never good because they're always full of debauchery. Always. It's either like, okay, let me guess. It's guessing time.
Okay.
He either was storing like Polaroid pictures, or recordings of some nature, or it was his memento room, like little pieces he had stolen from them. Was it the room that he used to come up with his plots on how he was getting people, or was it the room that he raped the women in? Oh, there we go.
They said it could not be described any better than a soundproof torture room.
Oh hell! Wait a minute, the wife didn't know what was in.
This was at his former residence.
Oh, okay.
He was talking about her past. Now you didn't have been with somebody and they start telling you stuff about your past, and you'd be like, "Ooh, wow, that's wild." Could you imagine?
What?
That's what he was. He started being drunk, talking about his past. Like, yeah, back in the day, before I met you.
I just had this little torture room, babe.
Run.
No, he was like, it was my quiet.
It was my
corner.
reading room. All alone in my corner, all alone in my chair. Sorry, I need to go home and watch Cinderella. So they found blood and human tissue on the floor, ceiling, walls, and pipes. So he obviously did not take a page out of Kelly Cochran's book.
He didn't learn how to clean nothing. His that was
At
nasty
all.
ass.
And that was when they found the two bodies. Their names were Debbie Henneman, she was 17,
Oh.
and Lise Navely Fletcher, 25. So he was sentenced to 4 life sentences in the murders of the 4 women. And his earliest possible release date, in like the terms of parole, would be May 17th, 2023. Just kidding, 2036.
I was gonna say that's long.
So at the time, he would be 100 years old.
They need to make it something where he couldn't even possibly make
Leave
it
it
to.
all, yeah.
Because honestly, some people, I'm not saying a lot of them, but some people do make it to 100, and he still in his strong at 87. It's possible his old ass could make it to 100. He should never have the thought of even comfort. He should have misery, agony for every freaking moment of the rest of the remainder of his life. He should know there's no option for hope. That's what he should know.
You should never see sunlight.
See, Lord, work on me, because I was just gonna say, I hope he got butt raped every day.
Butt sex.
I hope he had so much unwanted ass action that he couldn't control.
Ass action?
Yeah.
Goddamn.
I really hope that. I wish that for his life, because how dare you? How dare you do that?
And he, his motive was that he just told them, he said, I just really hate women.
Okay.
The fuck?
Like that was as deep as the motive got. I just really hate women.
But you decided to marry one.
But I really hate them.
You really hate them?
I really hate them.
I told y'all
my
story.
And at one point, I just really had an urge to start shooting at them.
You know what? Them the type of niggas you gotta run from. Like you get fast. If they say some shit like this,
if they have I'm sorry, the women bashing.
Now, women bashing will always be a turn off for me.
This is the thing. I understand everybody has pasts that are hard.
Yes.
But it is so demeaning to be talking to a woman.
Yes. About women. You're not even throwing the goddamn, to just even like try and icing it up by saying some women. I wouldn't even if you said most women, but you'd be like, man, I swear women, or all women is this and all women is that. But when some women was out there, or even most women was out there saying all men are dogs,
oh my God,
y'all cried and whoo, all to the moon and stuff. Yeah. And now y'all doing the same thing
that you didn't like.
The same thing. And then let a man step up and say something to defend a woman.
Oh God.
He's a simp.
He's a simp.
This podcasting took a turn.
The show has. We can start talking about relationships, y'all.
Uh-oh.
Y'all know one thing we're gonna always do. We're gonna always tell y'all how it is and what things to do and not do. And so we telling you what to look for in the red flags.
And that's a red flag. Somebody who literally has nothing positive or kind to say in regards to the opposite sex.
Yeah,
because every woman in this world ain't done you wrong, dude.
And the same thing goes out there to the men. Mm-hmm. If you are with a woman and all she does is talk about how dirty men is and men is this and men is that, red flag. Because no matter what you do, she has made up in her mind, or he has made up in his mind, that all of y'all is wrong. So no matter what you do, no matter what you bring to the table, no matter how good you are, it will not be good enough. So run.
Yeah, because they might be murdering you and locking you in the basement. to do their own little torture shit.
They might be peeing everywhere.
Oh God.
They might
because I can't handle the piss.
They might be
it's radiating from the other episode.
They might be out here cutting up bodies and serving them at barbecues.
Lord help us.
They might be out here stuffing babies in goddamn washing machines and dryers. They might be out here. What else? Oh, I don't even want to talk about that case where the way they did that little girl.
Yeah,
but they out here doing something they ain't got no business doing. So leave them alone.
Stuffing mamas in the closet.
And don't be scared to snitch. Somebody tell you some crazy.
Listen, that code of I'm not telling nothing. No, we're telling it all.
We snitching.
Telenovela. All of it. Espanol. Yes, I can say it in Spanish too.
Like, tell it all. If somebody comes to you and tells you some crazy stuff, get out of that situation safely. And snitch.
Snitch it all. So
because if it starts to come out or they start feeling like it's unraveling, they're gonna come back for you anyway because they'll be like, I told you, you a witness. You a witness.
Then you're gonna be the next one in the damn basement.
We just trying to say
allegedly getting shot and shit.
We just trying to say y'all lives. Put out some wisdom.
We just want to help.
We just want to help.
But my thing is like I said, when I hear from the situation that we talked about off air, the minute you get to man bashing, woman bashing, whatever bashing you want to do, I'm out.
I gotta go. I'm making all the arrangements.
Listen, flight,
literally.
My nigga, I am not about to be your guinea pig for your aggression.
I gotta go.
I gotta go. Oh, emergency. Texting your cousin, call me and act like it's an emergency.
Listen, what they say, it was nice. Or it was real, it was nice, but it wasn't real nice.
Gotta go.
Got a blast.
Got a blast.
Like literally, like somebody, like you gotta text your friends before like you meet up with the person and be like, listen, if I text you this number or if I say this word, I need you to call my phone and start dramatically crying and screaming. Like I need you screaming in the phone so loud
that they hear the whole conversation. Like grandma's dead. I thought you said your grandma. She died today.
The other one.
Today.
Today, right now.
I thought you said your grandma passed away already. The other one.
How
many grandparents you got? Don't worry about all that.
I gotta go.
I have godparents and everything.
I gotta leave now.
Wait, you got a god grandma?
Goodbye.
Yes.
Goodbye.
Yes,
Goodbye.
Yeah. So, this episode, because really there is no closure for the family.
No.
The daughter never did found her mom.
Nope.
Which even if is what we alluded to in our thoughts of what could have possibly happened in our speculation,
it still doesn't give any answer as to why she has been missing for 50 years.
And is it right? Like she just went out for a good time and this dude did whatever to her? No, that ain't cool.
50 years to not know what happened.
That's crazy. And she is such a beautiful lady. So like
and her kids too, the pictures.
Right, they're so cute and good family moments and stuff. But like on a serious note, because we are so unserious. We are very unserious podcast.
We are serious,
but we be so unserious. But we serious about the cases.
We're serious.
We just have our own coping mechanism.
Yeah.
And I use laughter to cope.
Yes, and like she was definitely a beautiful soul. Like I was just like looking through her pictures. I love looking at pictures of people and just trying to like gauge the type of person that they were. And like she just looked like she just had it together. Like she was like, you know what?
And that's what the daughter said.
Yeah, like she like I left this marriage or got divorced or he divorced me or whatever. I picked up my life. I moved on. I'm looking good. I got my babies. We gonna do what we need to do. And then it's just like unfortunate, like, she got into this situation. But it's just like now she would have been 83, 84. Yeah. And it's just like sad. So it's just like always like
them kids were robbed of a mother.
Yeah, like it's not closure in this situation, but it's kind of like we always take that moment to highlight the person that like lost their life or is missing. Because that's very sad and unfortunate, especially like you go the rest of your life without having answers.
Mm-hmm. And if you do have any information, any tips at all, we did include the phone number for you to call for Ann Arbor, Michigan. Mm-hmm. So yeah, The point of what we do is we want to get those cases out there of the victims, whether it's still an open case, cold case, whatever the case may be, to so that one, they're not forgotten, and then so that somebody may hear it and something may trigger a thought, a memory, or something, and they can reach out to the proper authorities and whatever the case may happen from there. But it's so that they won't be forgotten and so that we can get their names out there. Like Kay was saying earlier with another case that we did where, the one that was really triggering with the young girl. A lot of people didn't even know about that case, didn't know that took people that lived in the area didn't know that was something that took place in their neighborhood. And so it's all about getting awareness out there. We laugh, we joke, but again, that's because that's how
we deal with our traumas.
Yes, that's how we deal with things.
Traumatic.
Yes.
And like she said, it's honoring the victims because someone needs to hear their stories and remember them. They were people who were loved. They were people who had others that depended upon them. And even if they didn't have anybody else, they were people.
Yeah.
That Absolutely. Was, they deserved life and they didn't deserve to be taken out.
And deserve the highlight too, because we never heard about this. I've never heard it. Even if we ask people who of course was alive around that time, if we go probably ask our parents or something and be like, hey, did you ever hear about a missing woman from Ann Arbor, blah blah blah, and they never heard of it,
because nowadays everything is so romanticized that you only hear about those major quote unquote entertaining serial killers. Those are really the only crimes you hear about.
Or it's there was a shooting and then you never hear about any kind of resolution.
Again, nothing. That's it. We reported what happened and then nothing else is out there.